Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Keto in the Chaos. It's Sunday, September 16th, 2018, and it's weigh-in day. Well, hey everyone. I know there's probably a lot of you here who are really worried about me after last week's meltdown, and I just wanted to say thank you so much for everybody's support and loving comments, and I appreciate them so much. It was a trying weekend. It was really difficult for me. I really debated not making a video at all. I really debated not sharing that part of my life and part of me with you guys, because when you're vulnerable in a public domain, it can be really painful when people maybe don't see things the way you do and maybe feel like they know what's best for you and they want to tell you what to do. And sometimes that's really hard to take. Thankfully, most everyone was very kind, and I appreciated it very, very much, because that video, for some reason, got a lot of views. I'm not exactly sure why. I didn't even put anything crazy in the thumbnail. I really don't know why I got so many views, but thank you for watching. And if you're new from that video, I apologize if that was your introduction to how I am, because that's not how I normally am. But I have talked about on this channel how I do suffer from depression and sometimes anxiety, and I knew that that was what I was dealing with. And I really debated back and forth of whether or not I wanted to show it, or whether I was just going to skip the weigh-in and see if anyone noticed, and maybe just updated my live chat or something like that. And I had already skipped the week before because of the vacation. I just really didn't feel right about skipping again. And also, I thought, maybe it would be beneficial for you guys to see that my life isn't 100% always put together, and I do suffer from depression and anxiety, and things can trigger me, and I can stay keto and keep going through those things, because a lot of times people use those, and I know I have many times in my life used those feelings to justify bad food choices. And honestly, I've decided it's time for me to move past that phase of my life and not use food to medicate myself any longer. And so I can't use those big emotions as an excuse to eat things I shouldn't eat. And I wanted to kind of express that to you guys so that you guys could see that it's even possible. I made it through just fine that weekend. It was rough, but I didn't eat anything I wasn't supposed to eat, which is just a blessing, and I'm feeling really grateful. That video is an example of what I used to be and what I used to live with every single day of my life, and I'm not even exaggerating. I used to be that way every day. One little thing would set me off, and I was a crying mess who cannot deal, yelling at my kids, yelling at my husband, crying for hours on end. And it was often daily. It was all the time occurrence at our house. The kids learned to walk on eggshells around me. This person that I am now is a completely different person. Now, I still obviously have setbacks and I still have some issues, but being on keto has given me so much more control over those. And my bad days are not usually as bad as they used to be. Does that make sense? And so I don't really get as deep into the depression as I used to. I kind of feel just a little melancholy instead of feeling like I'm gonna die. So anyway, long story short, thank you for being supportive, and thank you for watching and for joining and for stopping by to see how I am. So now that I got that out of the way, I thought we'd just get right to the weigh-in, because I know that's what you're here for. Let's just see how this week went on keto. Okay, so as you can see, I weighed in today at a shocking 198.5 pounds. That's basically a 12-pound loss in a week. We all know that it's all water, and I'm still 4 pounds up for my lowest weight, but I am relieved, thrilled, happy, overwhelmed. I really never really thought that it would come off so quickly. I thought it would take a few weeks for that water weight to come off. I wouldn't say that I'm like happier because my weight is lower, but I am relieved that there's not something wrong with me, because that was part of what was triggering the anxiety. So part of what triggered it, I expected to gain a lot of water weight on this trip. I knew that flying could cause water weight gain. I definitely knew that humidity can cause water weight gain from back in October when we went to Disneyland, and I vlogged that trip, and I put on about 6 to 8 pounds of water weight. So I kind of expected just travel in general to put on about 6 to 8 pounds. So I was expecting that. I was expecting, a 6 to 8 pound gain. When I got home and discovered that it wasn't a 6 to 8 pound gain, that it was 14 pounds, which I guess I didn't take into account the flying and the altitude change and all of those things on top of the travel and the humidity and things like that. So I was disappointed in that number, but I wasn't like triggered. I don't think that I was triggered at that point. The triggering happened. So I got home on Monday, and on Tuesday is when I weighed myself. Tuesday morning is when I weighed myself, and I was 208. But then Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday and Saturday, my weight went progressively up. So I think it was like 209, 210, 211, 212, and I hit 212. Well, it was 211.9 or something like that on Saturday. And I think it was the fact that when I got home, it kept going up, and I was freaking out thinking I had maybe hurt myself by flying that plane. So that maybe I had damaged my heart. Maybe my heart had damage and the plane ride had triggered that. Or maybe my kidneys, same thing. And so I started having those hypochondriac anxiety attack kind of things where I was making up all kinds of scenarios in my head. Saturday night, I had a bunch of kids over at my house, and I literally, all I wanted to do was go in my room and crawl into my bed and cry and cry and cry. I didn't really want to be a social person. I didn't really want to have, I think I had 20 kids over, but I did it anyway. But you can see, if you watch my family channel and you saw the episode with the superfan taking over my channel, that is the day. I basically couldn't vlog, and so I just literally gave my phone to some random kid who loves our channel and let her do the vlogging. That was because I just couldn't deal. I couldn't do it. Saturday night, that's kind of where I was at, and so I was having panic attacks Saturday night so bad I couldn't sleep. I really think my magnesium was low because my sister, who happened to be up and was kind of talking me off the ledge around 1 a.m., thank you, Angela, she suggested maybe trying a little bit of magnesium, an extra one. And I thought, I haven't tried that. That's actually something that I've told other people to try, that I personally have not tried. Not being able to sleep and taking extra magnesium is my first go-to when I tell other people. So it was like a light bulb moment for me, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to do that. I'm going to see what happens. And then, of course, I said my prayer, and I asked God, if this wasn't life-threatening, could you just let some of that water go so that I know I don't need to panic? Because I was starting to panic a little bit. Okay, we all know I was starting to panic a lot because I really felt like something was wrong with me. And as a mom of 9 kids, and many of them still young, the thought of me having something wrong with me and being actually in danger, that's really, really palpable fear. I do not want to leave my babies without a mother. That was 110% of the reason that I started keto in the first place, was because I felt like I was killing myself and I wanted to find a way out for my babies. So the thought that I might have something wrong with me was really overwhelming. I mean, I'm only 43 and I'm just not ready for that phase of life where things start to shut down, and I don't know, I'm just not really ready for that, especially because I feel like I'm just finding myself for the first time, and I've spent so many years trapped in this cage of the big body and not doing the things I've always wanted to do, and now I'm not trapped anymore by my body, but also by my own self-consciousness. I find that I just don't care what other people think. I just do what I want. I mean, I'm in that ballet class and I thought, why didn't I do this years ago? I'm in clogging and I thought, why didn't I do this years ago? When I'm hanging out with my babies, making videos of our life, this is the one that's really, I'm just going, why didn't I do this years ago? These memories are absolutely precious that I have, and I'm so grateful for them. But Jasper's my last baby, and I had all these wonderful, wonderful memories with my other kids that I could have saved with YouTube and didn't do because I was self-conscious about myself. It's really disappointing. So I just feel like I'm just coming into my own, just coming into myself, and I'm feeling so young. The thought of dealing with any kind of thing that would make me feel old and falling apart was a little bit overwhelming for me. Needless to say, it was obviously the trip that was the issue. It was just normal weight, water weight. All of it is gone. I'm only 4 pounds up from my regular weight, and I mean, who knows, it's possible I actually put some fat on. I did measurements and I had gained a few quarter inches here and there, and I lost a quarter inch around my rib cage and lost a quarter inch around my waist, but everywhere else I kind of either stayed the same or gained a little bit. I actually gained around my neck, which I thought was funny, like a half an inch around my neck. And I'm kind of glad about that because I felt like my neck was getting too thin. But as you can see, I want you guys to go back to last week's vlog if you can stand to watch my face, or any of the ones of my trip or whatever. And when I'm talking about how my face looked puffy, guys, this is what my face looks like. This is what I'm used to seeing. Do you see this jawline here? It is cut. And do you see the thinness of my face? And my wrinkles are more defined because I have lost a lot of weight out of them. They had filled up again, and I felt like chubs in here. And it's a very subtle change, but when you're sitting here staring at yourself on YouTube every single day, you notice small things that you probably wouldn't notice before. My smile lines are back. No, dude, those are my character lines from however many years I've been talking with my eyebrows. And I like them. And I am glad they're back because that means that the water has come out of my face. Anyway, so I'm just totally relieved to have my normal face back, the one I'm used to seeing, the one that I feel like looks nice. And I mean, look at my little chin. You can see the little square line right there. I swear last week you couldn't see that because I felt like there was swelling in here. So anyway, I know I'm like probably more uber picky than I need to be. Mostly just because I look at myself on YouTube every single day. I mean, I see myself both on this channel where I like do my makeup and I do lighting and you guys get to see my best self where everything looks, you know, nice, and I've got my little lighting system set up. I've got my light over here to give me my little bit of rim light on my cheek. Do you see that there? Isn't that pretty? And of course I've got my lights back there which give me a little bit on the hairline, but also just there for fun because I love lights. But you'll also see on my family channel that I don't do that. Now you know to be aware if you're going to be traveling, if you're going to be doing anything out of the ordinary, just expect your body to react not nicely. And you know, it probably didn't help that I did clogging class, then ballet class, and then I did that whole video vlog of Hero Quest and got beat up by swords with a bunch of teenagers, and then flew 4 hours out to Atlanta, and then drove in a car 3 hours to Alabama in the heat and the humidity, and ate a lot of protein bars and meat sticks and cheese sticks rather than eating actual food. You know, those things all were just like boom, 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 you know, and reasonably in my brain, I knew that that would happen and I expected it. And yet, for some reason, the reality of it, seeing the weight go up and feeling out of control, and I think that was more than anything that triggered me, is that I was like, I'm doing everything right, and it's still going up, 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 up. Well, what am I doing? Something's wrong. Something has to be wrong. Because it put me in a place where I felt like I was out of control. And the beauty of keto and eating this way is that it has put me in control of my eating again, and has put me in control of my life again. And that has eased my anxiety so much, and has given me so much more freedom, because I don't feel like I'm controlled by what I eat any longer. Everything is on its way back to normal. I'm 4 pounds away from my lowest weight. Hopefully I will be there soon. We'll see. You know that my weight fluctuates a lot, and you just never, never, never know when it comes to my weigh-ins. But I am staying ketogenic. I have not eaten anything I'm not supposed to eat. And I am eating maintenance macros for a little while. And today I was thinking about that, and I'm like, I know people don't really understand why I want to do that. And I don't think I've made it clear yet, like why I want to like kind of chill here for a minute. And I think it's just because my weight loss at this point is so shocking to people who haven't seen me in a couple of years that it's starting to feel like people looking at me like I have gotten too thin. It's still to the point where people would say, you look so great, you look so great. But I can see the look on their face that they have a really hard time recognizing me. It is becoming a problem because as an adult, I have never ever been this size, and so I have literally never looked like this. I do not look like myself. I keep running into people who I haven't seen in a while who do not know who I am. Literally, last Saturday, even when I was all puffy and feeling miserable, I actually ran into a girl that I used to teach with. Like, we co-taught this class, the same class that I'm still teaching here at my Commonwealth school. We were co-mentors together. And I like put my arm around her and I was like, hi, how are you doing? I haven't seen you in so long. And I saw the look of panic in her eyes, where I knew she absolutely had no earthly clue who I was. And it scared her. And so as the conversation went on, I gave her clue after clue after clue. And then I finally saw the light bulb go off in her head and where she went, oh my gosh, it's Tamra. And then she was like, you look so great, by the way. It was hilarious because you could see she literally did not know who she was speaking to. And I don't want that to happen to people. So I kind of feel like I want people to get used to me where I am right now and get used to this being the new me instead of that woman who was over 300 pounds, who have been over 300 pounds for over 20 years. I don't want that to be the me they remember. I want them to be expecting to see this me before I start becoming an even smaller me and I really start to freak people out. And I'm really comfortable. I'm really, really comfortable where I am. I feel like I'm doing everything I want to do. I don't have any like goals that I can't reach right now. And I don't have any desire to be the perfect weight or have the perfect body. I'm never going to have the perfect body. I have oodles and oodles of skin left over that I can't afford to have removed, and I probably won't. So even if I do get to my goal weight, I really don't feel like I'm still gonna have the perfect body. You know what I mean? And so I feel like I am lacking motivation to keep going because no longer having the major health issues and the problems of not being able to play with my kids and participate and do the things I want to do because I'm literally doing everything. I've started my YouTube channel for my family. We're doing things together all the time. I have joined not only clogging class this year, but I have joined a ballet class this year. And I'm dancing for the first time ever, which I haven't really been able to express on my family channel how much that means to me, but I'll tell you what, it is the best thing ever. It is not easy, and I look like an idiot doing it, but I love every second of it. I've always wanted to be able to dance, and watching my girls dance, I have to admit that sometimes I've had moments of jealousy where I was just always like, well, it was never in the cards for me because I was always overweight. And it was never in the cards for me because my leg is short, my left leg is shorter than my right leg, and so I look clumsy. It doesn't matter if I look clumsy anymore. I don't care. I'm doing it and I'm participating and my kids are loving that I am. And that means everything to me. I feel like I've gotten everything I wanted. I don't feel like losing another 40 pounds is going to change anything. Now, I definitely want to keep going. I definitely think I should keep going. I mean, health-wise, I definitely feel like being a smaller weight is going to be best for me, of course. I definitely plan on it. But I just want it to kind of slow down a little bit. I just feel like it's spinning and I'm trying to keep up. Which is hilarious because, you know, there's like a million times during this journey where I thought that it was taking so long. Because when you first begin and you're 374 pounds and all you want to do is be able to walk, every pound feels like eternity trying to get to a place where you feel happy. Where you get to a place where you can do what you want to do, when you can walk up the stairs without feeling like you're going to die. Guys, yesterday, I was at Nutcracker tryouts with my kids, and I had to be somewhere really quickly. I had to be in this room for the parent meeting, but I also really had to go to the bathroom, and the bathroom was like, I kid you not, like clear down a junior high school hall and then clear down another hall. It was very far away from where we were. And so, in order to be quick, I thought, well, I'm just going to run. So I literally full out ran all the way down the hall, all the way down the second hall to the bathroom. And I realized when I got there that I was not winded. And it felt amazing. And I thought, look at me running. And so then I went back, and I didn't run back. I just walked back quickly because I didn't want to look like an idiot running down the hill at the people. Look at me, I'm running like a kid who's not supposed to run in the halls. Yeah, anyway, I didn't run back, but I went quickly. But when I got back to my girls after the meeting, I told Virginia about what I had done. So then later on, we both had to use the restroom, of course, because, you know, I am having a whoosh, and I had to use the restroom a lot. And so Virginia also needed to use the restroom, and she said, we should race. And at any other time in my life, I probably would have just been like, okay. I mean, I remember, in fact, 2 years ago at Nutcracker tryouts, when we were running late and I was trying to get Eloise in as quickly as possible. It was her first tryout and we had to be there and we were running late and I felt like terrible mother, and I ran about, I don't even know, 10, 12 feet. Maybe not even that. And I remember Eloise almost stopping dead and saying, "Mom, you're running. You can run." She had no clue that I could even move faster than a slow amble. Now, I was huge. It was a miracle that I was running. I don't know how I did that. In fact, I'm thinking back now and I'm like, wait a minute. That was like my biggest weight, and I did try to run. Wow. Okay, that, I can see why she would be shocked. We were in a hurry and I was trying to be fast. And I was thinking back to that 2 years ago, and here I am 2 years later running down the hall with my daughter, having a race. We had a race. And at first, I thought I was going to beat her. I really tore in it. I was running so hard. I could feel the fronts of my thighs burning because I had already done it once, and I could just feel my muscles just... And she pulls ahead, and I'm like, no! And I'm like, and I'm pushing as hard as I can, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can go even faster. It didn't matter how fast I pushed myself. She still easily outran me and ran all the way to the bathroom. And I was definitely a little bit of winded that time because I had pushed past what I thought I could do. I pushed even further. But I'll tell you what, the look of sheer joy on my daughter's face that Mama would have, not only just because I'm thinner, but because I don't care about what people think, that Mama would run down the school hall with her for a race just because she suggested it. Never in a million years would I dare to do that and like risk the ramifications of the social structure of what people would think of a woman running down the halls with her daughter. And you know what? I bet people when they saw that just thought it was cute. Because that's what I would have thought. And maybe they thought they wish they were as brave as me. And that's probably what I would have thought. And here I am being the brave one. Even coming out of ballet class the other day, there was a bunch of moms asking me so many questions about it and saying, like, is it a mom's class? And I'm like, no, it's the girls' class. I'm just doing it with the girls, and they're super nice. You could come in. There's a couple more spots if you want to come and join us. And the teacher was like, hey, you moms, if you guys are serious, we can have a class that's just for you guys if you really want. And she's like looking at me doing this is inspiring other moms to even consider it. And some of the moms were the same size or even bigger than me. And they were considering it because I was brave enough. And so I keep looking at all these great things that I'm capable of doing, and I think there's nothing more that I could ask for. I am happy. And even though I still have my moments of depression, and I still have my breakdowns, and I still have my triggers, and it's still a battle. It's still a battle to stay keto during difficult times. I am still so grateful that I was able to find keto and find something that worked for me and be able to get to this point. And it feels like it feels like that woman, that 374-pound woman, isn't even me. And it wasn't me. It was like I was trapped in a Halloween mask where people were afraid of me and avoided me and shunned me for so long. And now I feel like I can just break out of my shell and be me. The me I was born as. The me that I was, like my little Ruby, who is like my mini and who is just so exuberant and joyful and loves everything so much and has her moments of sadness that are so devastating. And I think, man, that girl is so me. She is literally just my little mini, and I'm doing everything I can to keep her emotionally healthy and happy and joyful so that she doesn't have to go through what I went through, not understanding myself and why my body didn't work the way it should work. Now that I have keto, not only does that give me freedom, but it also gives me freedom to help my children if they decide they need help. They know all about keto. They know how it works. They know how to do it. And they will have the option if they struggle with carbohydrate like I do, because, you know, it can be genetic, and depression and other things. It's helped my 16-year-old immensely being able to be calm and not have those manic moments. He has really bad depression. I'd say it's probably as bad or worse than mine. And on keto, he is just zen. He's a lot more calm. He has his days, as we all do, but overall, he is a whole new person, and he's so much happier. So anyway, that's a lot of information, and sometimes I keep talking and rambling like this for so long that I think, why do I do this? Because people don't even want to watch this much talking. But sometimes I just really feel like in my heart that I want to share stuff with you guys, and if I don't get it out, like it won't, I don't know, it just needs to come out, and it's important. And I feel like you guys need to know that your weight doesn't have to hold you back. You don't have to get all the way to your goal weight before you can do these awesome, fun things, before you can feel happy and free. You don't have to make it all the way. Now you can still make it all the way, and I think that's great if you want to make it all the way, if it's your goal. But I guess I'm just trying to explain to you why it's not necessarily my top priority at the moment. Though I imagine probably in a few weeks I will get bored of this and I will want to do something different, because I love change and I love new things. So who knows what's going to happen? Who knows? But I just want to let you guys know that that's why I'm doing things the way I'm doing them, and that you guys can kind of understand. And I hope that you guys all see this video, because I feel like I say it a lot, but people don't really still get that I'm taking a break from my weight loss journey. I don't even want to say that, because I'm like, I really expect us to lose. I'm slowing it down. I guess just that's the long and short of it. I'm slowing it down. So if you made it to the end of this video, I am very grateful and I appreciate it so much. Every minute you spend with me is appreciated greatly, and I am so grateful for all of you who are the best people on the internet. I watch a lot of channels, and I'll tell you what, the comments on those channels make me really afraid to do YouTube. But every time I get worried and every time I think things might go badly for me, I'm always so pleasantly surprised by the goodness and good-heartedness of the people who follow me. I don't know how I have created or attracted this beautiful group, but I am so grateful that you guys spend this time with me and that you're willing to watch my videos and support me. And I hope that I'm giving you something in return. I hope on a daily basis that you find inspiration, peace, hope, love, and everything else that you can possibly dream and desire through our friendship, through the chance that we have to communicate with each other here in my bedroom, out there to the world. It's a miracle, and I'm grateful for it every single day. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. We'll talk to you again soon.